Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Amazing, amazing. Okay, just taking a couple seconds just to approve all these note takers in here and admit anyone who is in the waiting room. Amazing. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of note takers today. Okay, hold on. Let's get all these approved for you guys, shall we? Amazing. Okay, I think we should be good to go for now. We'll continue having people kind of trickle in, but we will get started and I will just let people in as I see them in the waiting room. Hi, Julia. Amazing. Okay, cool. I think we are good to get started. Fantastic. Hi, everyone. My name is Irma, and I take care of our advanced workshops every Friday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Hi, Elena. Perfect. Let me just close that. Amazing. So I take care of our advanced workshops every Friday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If you guys have been on one of these calls before, you know the gist of it. We go through the entire platform from start to finish. So everything from generating your posts to editing them and customizing them and scheduling them and all that good stuff. We do that every Friday. Every couple of weeks, we will do a dedicated advanced workshop, and that is to go over any large updates. So you guys know, if you are a regular of the advanced workshops, we always start them off by telling you whatever has been launched that's new that week. Every couple of weeks, we launch a really big one. So we want to make sure to kind of get everybody up to speed. As you guys know, today's dedicated advanced workshop is about our new market report posts. So market reports just got a huge upgrade, a huge facelift. We want to go through absolutely everything together. Before we jump in and get started, I'm going to go through a couple house rules just because we have a packed house today, okay? Right now, we've got 53 people in here and people continue trickling on in. They always do. People usually trickle in for the first half an hour or so. So we will see more people coming in. Tim, it's just me and a bunch of people on the screen right now. Once I start sharing my screen, then you will see a presentation. But until then, I'm just going through the house rules first, and then we'll have a little share screen. You'll be able to see everything. Perfectly fine. So today we do have a full house, okay? I want to go through some house rules before we get started. This is going to be packed. We have a lot to get through, and I want to try to be respectful of everybody's time, okay? I want to get you in and out of here before 3 p.m. Nick's going to take this account over for the 3 p.m. onboarding, so we have a lot to get through. I'm going to ask you guys to remain muted. Reason being, we have a packed house. We have a lot to get through. I want to keep the flow going. I want to keep people learning, okay? I know you guys wear a ton of different hats. You know, sometimes you're juggling a million different things. You're answering phone calls, you're stopping. Totally cool, totally fine. It just gets really distracting for others if I have to stop what I'm doing and try to figure out who it is to mute them mid phone call or whatever. So if you could just keep yourselves muted just to respect everybody's time. Don't worry, we are going to get to all the questions. So as you guys can see down below, there's a little chat button. Tiara has graciously joined us today for this dedicated advanced workshop. If you guys have ever talked to Tiara before, you know that she is just the absolute best. She's going to be manning the chat today. So if you guys have any questions at all, just drop your questions in the chat. She's going to take care of you. Just keep in mind, though, that Tiara is a human being, okay? Tiara is not AI, so we're going to be super patient with her. If she has like 20 questions come at her, just give her some time. She'll get to you. And if she doesn't, because the chat is just flowing and it's going, don't worry. At the end, we always do a little Q&A. So if there's anything that we didn't quite get to, we'll do a little Q&A at the end. And you can always just shoot us off an email. You guys know how awesome Tiara and Nick are. They are always more than happy to help you guys out. So we will have that chat going. Feel free to drop your questions in there. If you have any questions that are specific to your account, okay, today is not an onboarding. We are not going to be opening up anybody's individual accounts. If you have any questions that are specific to your account, just make sure that you guys email us at support@RealEstateContent.ai. Tiara and Nick will actually be able to open up your account and answer any questions that you guys might have. That's not something that we do on the advanced training, but of course, you can always reach out to us if you do have any questions that are specific to your account specifically. The question that we get the most often before we get these started is, will this be recorded? Yes, absolutely. Every advanced workshop is recorded. Okay, so just give us about an hour or two after this is done, just so we can download. Oh, we're going to keep ourselves muted. Okay. Just so we can download the recording from Zoom, upload it into YouTube. We'll shoot it to you guys via email within a couple hours. So you'll get that. You're also going to get a link to our YouTube with a bunch of other training videos, okay? So you're going to get a ton of access to all that good stuff. For those of you who are brand new, if this is your very first advanced workshop and you haven't done one on a Friday before, this one specifically is dedicated to the new market report posts, the new upgrades that just went out. That's okay, Sophia. I think you're good. We don't hear any more echoing anymore, so you're good. This is specific to the new market report post that just went out for US users specifically, okay? So we're going to be covering that today. However, if you haven't done an advanced workshop before with us, I'm also going to send you guys a recording of last week's advanced workshop. So if you're brand new, you're still going to get a recording of that. You can watch it on your own time, on your own pace, all that good stuff. Or if you're free next Friday, we would also love to have you guys obviously join us next Friday as well, where we will go through the typical advanced workshop where we go kind of start to finish. Just today's very specifically is about the market report posts. And my final thing is just also, if you're brand new, if you have not done your onboarding yet with Nick. So if this is your first call that you are doing and you haven't done your level 1 onboarding call yet, this might feel a little overwhelming. That's okay. I still would love for you guys to stick around. You're going to learn a ton. Just make sure that whenever you get a chance, when you log into your account, bottom left-hand corner, same place that you found the level 2 advanced workshop, you're going to go to that same spot to join live training, go to level 1 and choose an onboarding time that works for you, okay? Nick is going to get you all set up with your profile answers, your colors, your headshots, your logos. He's going to walk you through kind of how to set your profile up. And then that will kind of get you set up so that you can start to generate and edit and kind of understand a little bit more about the advanced workshop. However, you're still going to learn a ton today. So even if you haven't done level 1 onboarding, please do stick around. You always got time to do it at a later date, but I always just want to make that, make a little call out to that in case you haven't met Nick yet. He'll take really, really good care of you. And with that said, I think we are good to jump in. So now I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to share my screen and we will get started. Beautiful. We're here. I see Tara's head. Amazing. Tara, you want to give me a little thumbs up just if you can see my screen? Okay. Okay. I got the thumbs up. Amazing. Cool. Okay, friends. So this is the RealEstateContent.ai content calendar. This is where you are going to spend 90% of your time after you have set up all of your nice little profile details with Nick, after you've onboarded. You're going to spend the majority of your time living here in this content calendar, generating, editing, scheduling content. Today, we are going to spend most of our time in the create a market report post generation flow, okay? So as you guys know, this button has always been here. We have just really revamped this entire experience. This is what we're going to be going over in today's advanced workshop, okay? So when you want to create a market report post to share on your socials, you're going to log into your account, you're going to be on the content calendar view, and you're going to click into create a market report. So here you're going to see a pop-up comes up similar to the old one, but it's been completely upgraded. So now we've got a nice little new view for it here. You can go ahead, you can search up the city or location you want to create a market report post for. So go ahead, you're going to type it in. I'm going to do Austin, Texas. However, you can type in whatever location you want to create a market report post for. Things to keep in mind here are that if it's a very small location that we just can't pull the data for, then it might just suggest to you, hey, we don't have any data for that. Try to choose a larger location kind of nearby. So try to choose a larger city or a larger kind of suburb in your area and then generate that way. So we're doing Austin, Texas. You're going to find that then you can choose your property type. So this is also an upgrade from before. Before you had the ability to choose 3 between 3 different property types. Now you have 5 that you can choose from, okay? So now we have single family homes, condos, townhouses, multifamily homes, and land. So depending on what you want to create a market report post for, you can go ahead and select that through the generation flow. Then you're going to find that you actually have all of the market data / market statistics, each data point laid out here for you in a little bit of a new a la carte style menu. So when you scroll down, you're going to see you got some options here. So median price list, active listings, median days on market, median price per square foot, new listings, percent with price cuts, percent relisted. So this is a little bit of an a la carte menu where you can kind of pick and choose which stats do you want included in your market report post that's generated. And the way that this works is this is actually going to pull these stats today in real time, okay? So when you select this, you go through the generation process, it's going to pull them as of today. When you kind of go through, you can pick and choose whichever ones you want, keeping in mind that every single one of these stats is going to land on a different slide within a carousel post on your social media post. So let's say you pick 3 statistics, it's going to be a 3-slide or a 4-slide carousel post, including the title page. So every single one of them you choose is going to be put into a carousel post. If you want to choose everything, you can go ahead and click select all. That's what I would do. I would select everything. And then after the fact, if I want to remove any slides or tweak anything, I can do that after the fact. But you do have the ability to just simply select all, and then it'll select everything. For the location, just before we move forward, this is going to work in the States specifically, okay? Reason being is because we have a really, really awesome third-party data provider in the States that's actually, that takes all of the data across America and kind of aggregates it and neatly puts it into packages where we then are able to pay for access to that to be able to give it to you guys in a market report, like a neat market report like this, okay? Difference between the US and Canada is that Canada just doesn't have any like data providers that congregate everything into one, put it into a package, and then offer it in an API, which is basically what companies like us build off of. So Canada just doesn't have one of those providers quite yet. This is something that we have launched in the States specifically because we use like a really reputable third-party aggregator that takes all of that data for us, okay? Another thing to keep in mind is that if you do not see the create a market report post button on your content calendar to initiate this generation flow, it just means that at some point when you created your account, probably before you entered in your profile information, we just weren't able to determine whether you're in Canada or the United States. And then we just kind of defaulted you to, we're not quite sure. So we didn't put the button on your account. If you don't see the button on your account, you can always shoot us an email to support@RealEstateContent.ai. Tiara and Nick can go into the back end. They can make sure that that button gets added. But if you are sitting here and you're like, wait a second, I am in the States, why is it not showing up? Just go ahead, shoot us off an email, and we'll make sure that you get that button. So you go ahead, you've chosen your location, you've chosen your property type, you've chosen the exact data points that you want to show up on your market report post, and you're going to go ahead and click next to choose your date. Now through here, what you can do is you can actually go ahead and choose the exact date that you want the post to go out on. Keeping in mind that the data is pulled in real time at the moment that you click generate market report, okay? So that being said, if I generate my market report today and it's real-time data, and then I choose to place this market report on August 31st, you can see how by the time August 31st comes around, that data might not be up to date anymore, okay? So when you are generating a market report post, it is pulling that data in real time. I recommend choosing within the next 2 to 3 days to schedule that post to go out. That way you know that it is the most accurate, it's the most up to date, okay? Because it is pulling it in real time. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna select the 7th. And then you can choose which platforms do you want to generate the posts for. So you can choose as many as you would like. You don't have to do one at a time. You can go ahead and choose Also kind of like a little a la carte menu. Choose whichever ones you want it to generate posts for. And then you're going to scroll down and you're going to see the ability to choose your template source. Now, this is different than what the old market report flow looks like. So if you guys were generating market report posts before, you know that you had the ability to choose. I think we had 5 different market report templates. You had the ability to choose one of those templates before proceeding to generate. Now, what we've done with this upgrade is we've actually launched a bunch of gorgeous brand new market report templates. They all live within the editor the same way that the listing templates live within the editor, the same way that the regular generation flow templates live within the editor. Now, these gorgeous templates are going to live right within the editor, and it is going to pull from one of those when you go to click generate. So no longer do you have the 5. They were kind of like colorful, a little bubbly. Now we've really tried to make them just like beautiful, professional, minimalistic. Absolutely every aspect of them is completely editable within the editor. This is going to live. Let me just let new people in. Your choice of template source is going to live right here. So most people are going to leave it at default. Default means it's going to pick from the big library of market report templates that we have within the editor. So it's going to automatically pick that. It's going to add your colors, your headshot, your logo. Good to go. You can make your changes the same way you can throughout the generation flow through the rest of the platform. This is going to give you the most variety. It's just leaving it at default. Most people are going to do this. However, you're going to find that you can also create and save your own templates. So this is something that we had a lot of requests for, was just the ability to be able to save your own market report templates. We could do that for the regular generation flow. We now can do that for the new listing flow. However, we didn't have the ability to do that for the market report posts. Now you do. So if you want to create your own templates within the editor, or as you're going through the templates and you find ones that you love, that live within the editor and you want to favorite them, so you want to hit the little heart and favorite them, you're going to have the ability to just tell the platform, hey, I want you to only choose from my saved templates, or I only want you to choose from my favorited templates, or I want the most variety, choose from the default, pick one of those, and then I'll go ahead and tweak it after if I want to, okay? And this is going to make more sense if you are brand new and you're not quite sure what we mean by saved templates or favorited templates. Don't worry, we're going to go through that together. But this just basically helps to narrow down, telling the platform exactly which templates you want it to choose from. And again, most of us are going to live in defaults until we kind of build up our other folders if we want to. Same as your background source. So you now also have the ability to choose photos to go in the back of your market report template. So no longer is it kind of stuck to those 5 that we had before. Now you can go ahead and have nice photos populate into the back. Now, most people will have it stay at all, which basically means that it is going through the 30,000 plus images within the editor, and it is adding an image into the background of that nice generated market report template. However, if you want to narrow it down, let's say you've favorited a bunch of images that you really love and you want it to only pull from your favorite images, you can simply tell it before generating, nope, I want you to only pull from my favorite images. Or if you've created an additional folder, maybe you've created a specific folder called market report or images where you only wanted to choose from those images, and you file those images into that folder, you can also narrow it down this way. So this is just really getting granular with telling the platform, hey, I want you to use templates from this folder and I want you to use backgrounds from this folder. Again, if you're brand new, don't worry, we're going to go through absolutely everything what this means when we get to the editor, but essentially most people are going to live here underneath all. That's going to pull from the platform's 30,000 plus images, and it's just going to choose one for you. So when you're happy with your selections, you're going to go ahead, you're going to click Generate Market Report. And now I've already gone ahead and generated some market report posts for us to play around with, but you guys know if you've generated on the content calendar already, you guys know how that looks when it comes in. It comes in kind of like a shimmering tile. So it comes in shimmering, you know that it's generating, it's doing its thing when it's shimmering. And then when it lands in your calendar, it's going to land as a solid block like this, okay? This means that it has generated and it is in your calendar. you're going to notice that your market report posts always are labeled market on the top right-hand corner. So you can very easily distinguish them. If you're looking at the rest of your calendar, you can see that these are all regular generations. Down here, I've got a manual post, I've got a Canva post, I've got an AI twin, I've got a market post, I've got a listing post. But they're always labeled on the top right-hand corner. So you can just very easily see, oh, yep, that's my market report post right there. The other thing for those of you who are new, you can also hover your mouse over any post in your calendar to give a little preview of it. So if you're like, shoot, what day did I generate for? Or where did I put that post? I don't really remember. You don't have to click into every individual post. You can just simply go ahead, hover your mouse over top of your post, and it's going to give you a little preview, just a little, oh, yep, okay, that's the one I want to work on. Let's go ahead and click into that. So we've got our market report post here. I'm going to click into it. As you can see on the top left-hand corner, it's going to show me the platforms that I have selected for that market report post. So I selected all of the platforms, which is why they all show here. If I decide after I've generated this post, you know what, I actually don't want this going out for TikTok, let's unselect that. You can go ahead and do that. Add, remove any platforms you want. That all kind of sits in the top left-hand corner. You are also going to notice that the status of your post is going to be up here at the top, okay? So posts will always land in an unscheduled status. Nothing will ever go out without you giving it the A-OK first. So you can see unscheduled, it's got the time on there. Let's say I want to change the time or the date. I can go ahead and very easily do that just by clicking up here, choosing the date, choosing the time, and you're all set to go. When you scroll down here, you're going to see a couple different options, okay? So all generated posts, either whether you go through the regular generation flow, whether you're creating a listing post, an AI twin post, or market report post, they will all look like this with the platform on the top left, with the status in the middle, the publish date here. The caption will always land in the middle of the post, okay? So caption is always here. What this has done is this has taken those market stats and it's put them in a nice caption, very easy to read. You know, it's not just like dull data, bam, 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 bam. It's written like a nice caption, like something somebody would actually want to read through. And then on the left-hand side, you're going to see that that's where the carousel generation always, the carousel design template always lands. So this is the market report post that has generated for me. As you can see, it's a carousel. As I click through, it's going to show me what was generated. So median list price, it's going to show me that median list price. And then it's going to give a tiny little blurb at the bottom, just kind of summarizing it in plain English. So single family homes in Austin are asking around X price on the market today, so budget accordingly. Next, you know, active listings with this many active single family homes for sale in Austin right now. Buyers have plenty to choose from. So it just really neatly kind of takes that data that it's pulled and organizes it in a way that it's easily digestible for the regular reader. So you can take a quick look at this. The first thing you are going to do is you are going to check out your caption, okay? So through here, make sure you check out your caption before editing any other part of your post. Give it a quick once over. If there's anything you want to change in your caption, you can go ahead and click into Edit Caption. And then you can simply write whatever you want. You can add, you can remove things. Let's say you're like, you know what? I want to tweak this call to action and I want to remove this emoji. And I want to go looking for your dream home. Give us a call today. Perfect. You can go ahead and make any changes you would like just by simply clicking either edit caption or clicking right into the caption itself. Now, let's say you take a look at that caption. You're like, okay, this is good, but you know what? I actually want to regenerate it entirely. You can go ahead and click into regenerate this caption. And through there, you have a couple of shortcuts, okay? So you can either click the button to make it shorter, which will basically take that caption, shorten it up for you, put the stats in bullet point form, just really kind of condense it into something shorter. You can make it more personal. So this is going to pull more of your profile information. So the 5 questions you would have answered on your persona and brand during your onboarding, either with Nick or on your own, about the location you service, your ideal clients, a little bit more about your bio. If you click more personal, it's going to bring in a little bit more of that. So mine, would sprinkle in kind of, I've lived in Austin for X amount of years and I'm a local. I love to hike. I'm a dog mom. Like it'll kind of sprinkle that in throughout. Or if you want to make it less personal, you're like, you know what, just data, make this less personal. You can go less personal. It's going to remove anything that's personal out of there. And it's just going to be very nice and informational. Or if you want to ask the AI to do something specific, you can use this bar up here and tell it to do something special. So regenerate this, but put it in bullet point form. Add more emojis, focus more on this or less on this, or give this a humorous spin, or really stress the urgency of, closing before the end of the summer because, with back to school around the corner, whatever. You can go ahead and ask it to do whatever you would like and then click regenerate. And what that's going to do is that's going to regenerate that entire caption for you from scratch. You're going to see a brand new caption that you can then review and tweak as needed. You can click to regenerate the caption as many times as you want. Once you are happy with the caption, the next thing you are going to do is you are going to head into the design. So take a look at it here on the left side. It's going to live right here. You can go slide by slide. If you want to make any changes to this post, you're going to go ahead and click into edit design. And what this is going to do is this is going to open that post within the built-in editor, okay? So same way that we can edit any other generated post through the content calendar. So either a regular post or a listing post, any other post, the same way you can access the editor, you can do that with the market reports. What you're going to find now is that instead of, the 5 templates we used to have before, now we have a whole new library of gorgeous, brand new market report templates that you can choose from. So when you click into edit design, it's always going to open up your design like this. And then you're also going to see that it always lands under templates. So it'll narrow down your templates down here. You've got your suggested templates. So those are all the templates that come within the editor. You can go ahead, you can scroll down here. You can kind of see, okay, maybe you want to change it to a different look, a different kind of vibe, whatever you're feeling. You've got tons of options here to choose from. You can just kind of click through them. It'll change your whole post down here. So you can click through, find something that you really love. Before you do anything, you can go ahead and click into each individual slide down here. So this is every slide that is within the carousel post. So every single slide has a different piece of information on it. Let's say you decide, you end up here and you're like, you know what, I don't really want to do the price with percent cuts. Let's just delete that. You can totally delete slides completely out of it if you want. You can tweak things if you want to tweak things. If you just double click into the text box, you can go ahead and make any copy changes you want. You're going to see that absolutely every single variable within your design is completely editable. Okay. So when I click into a design, for an example here, my headshot is editable, my contact information, all the text boxes are editable. I just simply double click into it. You're going to see some options pop up. So you can change the font, you can change the size, the colors, you can uppercase, bold, italicize, underline, choose the alignment. You can drag and drop things around. Absolutely everything is editable. The same way it would be in any other editing platform. Makes it super, super easy for you to kind of get creative. Okay. So first thing I always say is take a look at the slides. If you want to make any copy changes, do it first. Go ahead, go in there. Maybe you want to make this an exclamation mark. Whatever it may be, make your copy changes, delete any slides you don't want. If you want to rearrange slides, you just simply drag and drop them around and you can rearrange the slides. When you're happy with the copy and the text, you're going to take a look at those suggested templates. We've got tons to choose from, so you can pick from one of these. If you want to quickly add your colors, so your brand colors to your design, you're going to go ahead up into quick controls. So up here in red, you're going to see quick controls and you can open that up. And what that's going to do is that's going to take those 2 brand colors that you set up, and it's going to give you a variety of different variations of your color palettes that you can just very quickly add to all of the templates within the editor, okay? So all of these nice, gorgeous templates down here, instead of having to go one by one and add, my colors are yellow and orange, for an example, instead of having to go one by one and be like, okay, I want this to be yellow and this to be orange, I just simply open up my quick controls. I choose a color palette here. Amazing. I'm going to close those quick controls now. And as you can see, as I scroll through that template library, now my colors have been automatically added to every single template within the library. So I don't even have to make individual changes if I don't want to. I just find the one that I want. Okay, really like this one. Cool. Let's use this. It's got my colors on it. So same thing, let's say I want to see a different variation of those, of my color palettes. I go ahead, I choose the second one, and now I close those quick controls. And as you can see, it's chosen that other variation of the color palette and applied them to all of the suggested templates within here. So it makes it super, super easy if you're just like, I want to add my colors to this. I don't want to do it one by one, or I want to see what it's going to look like. You just go ahead, open up those quick controls, choose one of the varieties of the color palettes. It's going to automatically apply it to all of the suggested templates within the editor. You also have quick controls for your fonts, okay? So if you have a preferred font for your header font and your sub-header font, or your contact font, so any of the market templates that have a section for contact variables, if you have any specific fonts you want to use, you can actually go ahead and put them right into quick controls. So choose from this list here. And what that's going to do, similar to the colors, it's going to just apply those fonts immediately throughout the templates. And then you don't have to go through and make the changes one by one. Okay, it makes it super, super easy. You just head right into the editor, go straight to quick controls, apply your colors to everything. Once you are happy with your template, so we've chosen this template, I like this. This has my colors on it. This has the yellow and the orange. Awesome. Okay, cool. I'm happy with this. I want to go ahead and just now change the background image of these carousel slides. You can head to images, and we've got the image library within here, okay? So this is the exact same image library that's within the editor in general. So when you're going through the regular generation flow, these are all those same images. There are 30,000 images to choose from in here. So as you kind of scroll down, you can find the image that you like best. I really like these kind of outdoor, clean, perfect. So find the image that you like best. For those of you that are new, within here, we have everything. We're talking interiors, exteriors, warmer climates, colder climates. There's people in here, there's pets, there's kayaking and biking and papers and laptops, and you name it, there are a ton of images to choose from in here, okay? You're gonna see as you scroll down that the images are kind of grouped within similar images. So see if you kind of like this vibe right here, like this could totally be Austin, perfect. You're going to see that it's grouped with similar images. And then as I scroll down, you know, this kind of more like palm trees and a pool. These are all kind of grouped nicely together. Same kind of vibe here. We've got this nice neighborhood. So you'll see that we've really tried to group like-minded images together. And this is important because let's say we've chosen some images we really love. So let's start up here. And I really love this image. I want to swap this image to be the background of every single one of my slides, this specific image right here. You can go ahead, you can click these three dots and scroll to set all backgrounds. And what that's going to do is that's going to swap the background of every single slide within my carousel to be that image that I really like. Or if I want to just set one background to be a specific image, I'm going to click into the slide I want to change. So this one right here, I'm going to find that image I want to change it to. So let's say I want to change it to this image. I'm going to click those three dots, and instead of setting all backgrounds, I'm just going to set as a background. And that swaps just that one background for that one specific slide. So you can really get as creative as you would like. The reason why I mentioned that all of the images are grouped similarly is because once you find a grouping of images where you're like, ooh, I like this, this fits the location that I service, or maybe this fits the vibe of my social feeds. Maybe you're a little more minimalistic. Maybe you like brighter colors. Maybe you like a little bit darker and moodier. Once you kind of scroll through and you find a vibe that you like, you're like, ooh, I love this. I actually kind of want to use all of these images kind of like a carousel pack so that each one of these images replaces each background of each slide within this carousel. If I really love this grouping of images, I'm going to click into these three dots and I'm going to scroll to select the carousel pack. And what that does is that takes that image that I love and all of the similar images to it, and it swaps a different image in the background of every slide so that as my viewer is scrolling through, they are seeing a different image in the background of every single slide, but it still looks very intentional. It still looks very cohesive. It looks like I took a ton of time to try to curate this perfect grouping of images. And you don't have to do it one by one. You just simply click your three dots, scroll down to select carousel pack. It's going to take that entire grouping for you and just plop it into the back of every slide. As you are going through the images, the other thing that we always cover in our advanced workshops is the ability to favorite all the images that you love the most, okay? So you guys are gonna find that up here, we've got a search and filter option, so searching and filtering. The AI is still learning on a weekly basis how to do that better and better every week. However, you're gonna find that when you do filter, let's say I filter Alberta, it's going to show me a small grouping of the images that are in Alberta. There are much more in there, okay? The AI is still learning, which is why I suggest everybody take a little bit of time, okay, to go through this image library. And I promise there are a ton of images in here, but you are already going to know if I'm servicing Alberta and I land in this image pack right here, of course I'm not using that. There's massive palm trees. Let's just scroll right past it, okay? You know right away, like, this right here, cactuses, nope, not for me. We're looking for the mountains. So you get the gist of it. You can get through this really, really quickly and go through the entire image library really quickly. And as you go through it, when you find images that you love, so they suit where your location, maybe they just suit your vibe. Maybe you're just like, you love really bright, colorful photos to post on your socials. You go ahead, you hit that little red heart on the top left-hand corner. Every single image within the image library has this option, okay? So you just heart all the images you like the most. Amazing, we're here, love, heart, heart. Let's scroll to the next part. Okay, cool, kind of cottage country, amazing. This could totally work in the mountains, awesome, heart, heart. Every time you heart an image, it immediately gets filed into a folder called your favorites folder. So within the editor, under images, up here under folders, you're going to find that every single user has a favorites folder. If you scroll, it's pink or red. Yeah, like a light pink. Every single user has a favorites folder. And what that does is that every time you hit that heart, it immediately files that image into that favorites folder. And that is important because through the regular generation flow and now through also the new market report post generation flow, you are able to narrow down those images. So remember when we were choosing from templates and we were choosing from background images and the options were all, or the options were favorites, or the options were any other specific folder within here, you can tell the platform, no, I only want you to choose from my favorites folder. So as you go through, you pre-approve all the images you love the most. They suit your vibe. They suit your socials. You've clicked that red heart. And then when you go through the generation flow, you just simply go background source, choose favorites, and it will only ever choose the images that you have A-okayed, okay? Similar to creating a folder. So if you want, you can go ahead and get really, nitty gritty with it. Go ahead, click create a folder. It's going to give you a new folder within your folders. You click those three dots, you click settings. And let's say we want to name this market report images. These are just images that you feel would look really, really nice within your market reports. I'm going to choose a nice little color to make this beautiful. Let's go update. Now I've got this folder, market report images. And as I scroll through, I can very easily choose the images that I want to appear only in my market report posts. I click those three dots and I go add to folder, and I'm going to add it to my market report images. And now you can get as granular as you would like. If you want to create a folder that you only put your market report images into, you can totally do that. And then when you're going through that generation flow, you just simply tell it, yep, market report images, and it will only ever choose from that folder. So you can really get as organized as you would like. If you don't want to create folders, you don't have to create folders. Just know that everybody has a favorites folder in here already. So it's already going to work with those hearts. Everybody also has an uploads folder in here already. Everybody's got a My Uploads, so that should you upload any of your own images within here, you can totally do that. Let's say you want to just totally scrap the carousel post and you have your own market report design that you've uploaded. You can go ahead and click into upload images and upload the image directly into the editor and just use it as a part of your design. So you've got tons of options to choose from in here, just depending on how creative you want to get with it and how organized you want to get with your folders. One final thing with the images is that if you want to use them as backgrounds, you're going to follow the steps that we did with the 3 dots and then setting as background, setting all backgrounds, select carousel pack, all that good stuff. Or if you just want to add that image onto your design as a part of the design, maybe you want to get really creative with it. You want to create some collages. You want to just kind of, make it however, whatever vision you sort of have, you can go ahead and click into the image itself, okay? So instead of clicking those 3 dots, just click into the image itself. You can add any image as a sticker just like that, okay? Just an element of your design. So if you want, maybe we add that as a sticker, we image around the corners a little bit, maybe we play with the transparency. So again, every single variable on your design, when you click into it, it's going to give you some options up at the top of what you can do with it, okay? So if you want to create some collages, if you want to maybe all down the left-hand side, you want to do some images, something like that, you can really do whatever you want when it comes to the design. Shapes, you're also going to see that you still have the shape. So within the shape library, you've got tons of shapes to choose from. If you want to tweak anything, maybe you want to add or remove a shape, you can go ahead, just simply go through the little menu bar up here. Let's say we want to add an arc. We click into the arc. It's going to give us the options for the arc. Let's say we want to add that. We just simply click into it. It's going to add that shape onto your design the same way any other editing platform. Then you can click into it. You can set the colors. You can set the transparency, all that good stuff. Get really creative with it. Let's say we want to make it a little bit more like this. Move this guy here. You get the gist. We'll control those layers actually. Make sure that goes back here. Beautiful. You get the gist. You can really get creative with it. You guys are also going to see that with the new market reports, we have launched some additional icons. So these icons launched with the release of the new listing posts about 2 weeks ago. So we've added some additional icons in here that are very specific to market reports. So you'll see them down here. If you want to add any of them to your design, that kind of matches, let's say what are we talking about here? Price, percent with price cuts. So let's say you want to add something that kind of goes along with that, you can do that. Or if you just want to get creative and add, certain, like, let's do this kind of dollar sign thing. You can add that icon, set the color of it. You get the gist of it. You can add any sort of icon you want to your designs just to get really creative. Then you've got your text. So this is where you are going to see some new options, okay? So typically within the editor, we have our header text, our subtext, that's AI generated. But here, because we have so many different stats that go along with one generated post, you're gonna see that you can open up all of these different stats, okay? So let's say we are working on that first slide. This is our median price list slide. We open this up, and you can see that these items have been added to this slide. So it's got the title, it's got the value, and it's got a little blurb about it. If at any given point you want to add any of those stats to a different slide, let's say you made a boo-boo, you accidentally deleted it, for an example, you go delete, and you're like, oh shoot, I didn't mean to do that. You can go ahead, click stat value, it's gonna give it right back to you. Or you want to add it for whatever reason to a different slide. You're like, ooh, I also want to add the median price details to this slide right here. You're underneath median price details, but you're on the active listing slide. Let's say we move that information around and then we go, let's add median price details. Let's add that stat value. It just brings it right in for you. So you don't have to, type it from scratch. You just simply bring it right in, bring that blurb in. Then you can tweak that copy. Then you can move it around. So you can really kind of decide exactly how you want it to end up. So let's say you're like, I actually want those two stats together. We can just delete that median slide all together. And now we've got, these two statistics living on one slide together. Totally up to you how you want to do it, but just know that like if there's ever a point in time where you want to add one of these numbers or blurbs or titles quickly without typing it out, you just simply go into the text, find exactly what you want, click into it, and then it'll add it. You can also add your location very easily. So let's say we want to add the location all over again. We just want a little reminder that this is Austin, Texas. We can do that. Or the property type, the single families, we can do that. If you want to add any additional text, so let me get into something a little bit cleaner now that we've messed up that slide. If you want to add any additional text, so maybe it's a call to action or a tagline of some kind, whatever it may be, any additional text where you just kind of want to start from scratch, you can go ahead and click into add text. It's going to give you a little sample text box, and then you can simply go, love where you live. Beautiful. That's our little tagline. And I want to move that guy like this. Let's just move him right here. Bring it down. Love where you live. Amazing. So you can add additional text if there's ever a time that you want to add anything in addition. Then we've got our branding. So you guys know if you've set up your headshots and your logos, they are going to be easily accessible here. If the design has a location where it features your headshot, your logo, or your contact information, it is immediately going to pull it in if you have it all toggled on, okay? So this one does, it was on the first slide. If you want to add it to a design that doesn't have it, you just simply go ahead, toggle all the fields on, apply it to all the slides. Or let's say, this is generated and I say, I actually don't want my phone number on this one right now. I just want my name and the rest of the information. You can toggle individual variables on and on. It's entirely up to you what variables you have on your designs. And if you even have your contact info on your designs, entirely up to you. You guys are going to find that similar to the rest of the templates within the editor, we have tried to give you a ton of variety, okay? So when you go through it, you're gonna find some templates that have your contact information on it, some templates that don't, some templates that have it on the first and the last slide, some templates that have it across every slide, some templates that just have it on the last slide. That is because we want to give you guys a ton of variety, okay? If you've been on an advanced workshop with us before, you know that variety is the name of the game. You want to make sure the posts that you have going out are not looking, headshot and contact info on absolutely everything. However, it's entirely up to you. If that is something that isn't important to you and you're like, I want to make sure to have it on every slide, you can simply go in here, toggle all these fields on, apply all. It's going to add all those variables to every slide. Okay, so you've got tons of options here. The other thing here with your contact information is that these are all just suggestions. If you don't want to put your brokerage or your team name, if you would rather put maybe your DRE number or your tagline or a call to action, you can type in whatever you want here. These are simply just suggestions, okay? Keeping in mind that your name field is always going to show up a little bit bigger than the rest of the fields on the designs. We've just kind of designed it that way. So just make sure that in that first field, whatever you're putting in there is something that's important to you, or something that you kind of want to stand out amongst the rest of the contact variables. You're also going to see that your headshots and your logos are down here. So you would have set this up with Nick during your onboarding or on your own. But let's say if you really want to tweak your design, you're like, ooh, you know what? I meant to do my other headshot. You can just scroll down here, click into whichever headshot you want to swap it to. Let's say we want to swap that logo. We're like, ooh, you know what? A little too much orange and yellow in this one. Let's go with the white logo. You can go ahead and toggle between different logos and it'll just immediately swap them for you on your design. So super, super nice and easy to just swap around your variables without any issues. A couple additional things within the editor to keep in mind is that Similar to the editor throughout the rest of the platform, you also have your layers, so you can control your layers the same way I did when I brought that little arc in here. So down here, when I brought that arc in here, I had to pull the image on top of the arc to make sure that it wasn't covering that image. You have full layer control in every single slide. So if you want things to appear in a certain layer or a certain order, you just simply click into layers, drag and drop the things around, tell it exactly where you want it to land. And then you have full control. If you are getting really creative and you're adding different stickers and icons and stuff like that, you can go ahead and control the layers through here. You can also control your brightness. So you can do it through the entire carousel package, or you can do it slide by slide. If there's a specific slide you want to make a little bit darker, a little bit lighter, you just simply click into the brightness, control it through here. You've got quick access to your color palettes, so your main color palette as well as some additional ones. If you want to create other color palettes, so just so you have quick access to them, you can go ahead at any given point and create a new one and just click in through here. However, if you just want the quickest changes, you're going to live in that quick control button, that red one we went through in the very beginning of the editor. You also have the ability to undo and redo. Of course, if you do a little boo-boo, you just undo, it'll undo it, redo, all that good stuff. And then we've got this nice little option up here. This is our link feature. So we cover this every week in advanced training, but this is also worth noting for the market reports. Your link feature, this is almost kind of like a master control. So as you can see, it's a bit of like a paper clip or a infinity symbol. And right now there is a line through it, so it's off. If you click into it, you can open it up and now that feature is on. So think of it as kind of like a master paperclip, okay? It's taking all of your slides within your carousel post and it's paper clipping them together. And what that means is that I am essentially, when this is open, I am telling the platform what I do to this slide, I want you to do to all the rest of the slides. So I want you to link them together. And what I mean by this is when this is open, and I am now linked together, and I take, my, let me see, like my header font, for an example, and I pull it up. It is then going to take that and it is going to pull that font up for all of the slides. Similar to your subheader, let's say I move it down, it's going to do that same thing for all the slides, okay? When that link is turned off, essentially what it's telling the platform is what I do to this slide, I want you to only do to this slide. I don't want you to link them together. I want to make changes here just to this slide. So let's say I take this box and I move it all the way to the top left-hand corner. That link is turned off. It's only moved here. So it's telling the rest of the slides, no, we are not linked together. They are working on just this one slide, and the changes that I make to just this one slide are only applicable to just this one slide. So this is just a really handy feature. If you are one of those people that plans to spend a lot of time in the editor, this is going to help you out if you just want to make some quick changes, moving things around so that you make sure that all the slides are cohesive. You're going to do this by opening up your paperclip, or if you just want to do slide by slide, you're going to do this by closing your paperclip. A couple additional things are just back into your templates. I'm just going to go ahead and clear some of these changes that we've made just so we can start with a fresh template. So let's say you've made some changes, okay? Let's say we've started with this template, we've moved this around and we made, well, maybe we just we'll go like this. We made this change and then we'll remove this line. You've really kind of made it your own, okay? So you've worked on this template, you've made it your own, you love it, and you want to be able to use this template again in the future. So not just I'm editing this one-off market report post, and then it's gonna publish out to my socials, and I'm not gonna use this template again. You love this template, you have worked on it, and you're like, ooh, you know what? It would be really awesome if I could use this again in the future, the same way I can these nice suggested templates that the editor has created for me. I would love to be able to create my own. Or maybe you have a very specific template, and every time you put out a market report, you want it to look the same, okay? And you've created a nice template, and you're like, I want to be able to grab that next time I head into the editor. we've created this. We're going to use this again in the future. Before we go ahead and save and exit out of this individual post, we're going to click into save as a template and save as a new template. And what this does is this creates an entirely new save template that is going to live in our saved templates folder underneath templates. And now what this is doing is this is starting to create a collection of templates that I have saved that I want to have quick and easy access to every time I'm editing a market report post. Whether that be, just you want to have a variety of them in here, all ones that you've tweaked, or whether it be because you're a person who likes to have maybe 2 to 3 different market report templates and it always goes out with one of those. You just simply go save as a template, save as a new template. And every time you are editing a market report post, you're going to be able to click into templates and you're going to be able to go straight to save templates. And now you've got all of your templates that you've created and saved, very easy to access. This is also very important because through the generation flow, when we were choosing where our templates came from, remember how I had mentioned that most people would keep it at default because most people are using the suggested templates, so the default templates that come within the editor. But if you save your own templates and you would rather it choose from your specific saved templates, you just simply select that in the generation flow, and it's only ever going to choose from those saved templates for you. So this is something that the market report posts did not have the ability to do before, and now you can really, really get creative with them the same way you can the listing posts, the same way you can the normal posts. The other thing you can do, you'll notice, is you're going to see those little hearts, those favoriting hearts within the templates. You're going to see them within your suggested templates. You're also going to see them on your saved templates. So if you don't want to create your own templates and save them, or if you're just like, oh, I really love, these 7 templates within the suggested templates. I love this one. I love this one. This is one I'm going to use in the future. This is one I'm going to use in the future. Yep, this one too. Okay, I love these ones. You just heart the ones that you love the most. And the same way in the images, they get filed directly into your favorites folder. You also have a favorite template folder. So now here's all the templates that I love the most that I've favorited. So I can very easily access them without having to go through the library. And I can very easily tell the platform when I'm going through the generation flow, I can very easily tell the platform, hey, only choose the ones that I favorited. Only choose these ones because I like these ones the best, okay? So you can really get as granular with it as you would like. You can either go ahead and generate and let it just choose from the suggested templates, or you can save your own, or you can favorite, or you can get even deeper and create some additional templates. So minimalistic ones, team ones, where maybe you have, so let's rename this to like team templates, where maybe you've created a couple market report templates that have your whole team, that maybe you have a team of 3 or 4 and there's a nice image with all 4 of you at the bottom. So you have that within team templates and you get really granular with it. Entirely up to you how you want to organize it, or if you even want to organize it. I know a lot of people might not even want to organize it, so you don't have to. Entirely up to you, but you've got tons of options to choose from in here. So when you are happy with your post, you're like, okay, I love this. I want this to publish. We've chosen our background images. We've swapped the colors. We've made any copy changes, deleted any additional slides we wanted, added or removed our contact information. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to click save and exit. And I'm just going to save my changes to that post. And now I've got all of those nice changes saved right here. I've got that caption that I've approved. I've got that nice carousel post. I can go ahead now, if I'm happy with the post, and click to schedule and approve it. So that's going to take that unscheduled post and it's going to change it to a scheduled post. Now I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to unschedule it just so we can play around with it a little bit further. But here are some things that you guys are going to notice, okay? So as we click back in here. Okay, so here are some things that you guys are going to notice. Let me put these platforms into here. You can go ahead and schedule your post right away, and that's going to swap that post to a scheduled status. When your post is scheduled, it is locked and loaded, and it's going to go out on that day and that time to the platforms noted with that caption and with that design. So you will not be able to make any additional changes to your caption or to your design when your post is in a scheduled status. So let me schedule another one just so I can just show you what it looks like. Scheduled. For those, just quickly, for those of you that are new, we will go through all of this in next week's advanced workshop a little bit more in depth, but it's going to change it to a scheduled status like this. You know, it's going to go out on this day and this time. As you can see, I cannot make any changes because this post is scheduled. It's going to change to a scheduled status like this. If I want to make any additional changes, I'm going to actually have to scroll down here, make sure to unschedule that post, make those changes, and schedule it again. You have to make sure to make any changes that you want before you schedule your post and before your post changes to a posted status. Because when your post changes to a posted status, your post has gone out the door, it has published on whichever platform you've chosen. And if you want to make any additional changes, you're going to have to log into that platform and make the changes through there. And your change options are going to be limited to just the caption, okay? You won't be able to change the design. So those are just some things to keep in mind. Schedule, your post is locked and loaded, ready to go on the day of. If you want to make changes, you got to unschedule it first. You got to do it before it changes to posted. Once your post changes to posted, your post is out. It's in the wild. You can't change it from the RealEstateContent.ai content calendar, okay? So those are just some things to keep in mind. We're going to plop back in here. You guys are also going to notice that we have more features on the right-hand side. So this is something that we also cover in advanced training more in depth. But for those of you who have been on advanced training before, these features are still an option now for market report posts, okay? So you're still going to see the additional features here on the right-hand side. I always recommend check out your caption first, check out your design, then head here into more features, okay? And here you're going to see some additional options, including, so you guys are going to ignore this right here, the syndicate post. This is just on my account just because it's a test account for something else. But you guys are all going to have the option to convert video. So when it comes to market report posts, when it comes to any carousel post that has multiple slides within it, which most of the carousel posts will, because you're choosing more than one statistic to be added to your post. Any post that is a carousel post, so any post that has multiple slides, is going to have the ability to convert to video. And what this allows you to do is this allows you to take that carousel post and convert it to a slideshow video, okay? So when you click into convert video, you're going to have the option to choose your slide pause time, so your transition time. You're going to be able to choose your slide transition type. You're going to be able to choose your sound, so the music you want going on top of it. You've got a ton of different genres up here to choose from. You can choose a sound, and then you click convert to video. And what that's going to do is that's going to take your carousel slide and it's going to convert it to a video slideshow. It looks a little bit something like this. I'm just going to turn the volume down for you guys so that it doesn't sound too loud, but you're going to hit play. And now we've got that nice market report post, but it's turned it into a slideshow video. So another way to kind of incorporate video content without having to film anything. It's still super great, still super informational, but you can kind of sprinkle that in throughout your content calendar. Super easy to do. You just simply click convert to video, okay? The next is you have the ability to generate an AI image, okay? So let's say your market report post generates, you're like, this is awesome, love the caption, cool, cool, cool. However, and I love the template that's been put on it. However, I do have an idea for what would make a really great background image for the carousel slides. And, you know, I'm in a pinch. I don't want to head into the editor right now. I just want to tell it exactly what I want to be the background image. You can go ahead and click into generate AI image. And what this is going to do is this is going to take that caption and it's going to give you a little description of what it thinks could make a good caption in the background, okay? Or sorry, a good image in the background. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to completely scrap that because I have an idea of what I want, and I'm just going to go Austin skyline at sunset. Just be super to the point, cozy cottage, canoe at the front, just super to the point. You get to choose whether or not you want people included in this generated AI image. I usually like to toggle this off because I don't like people in my generated images, but it's entirely up to you. You tell it exactly what you want. You click generate image. And what that does is that's going to generate you an image in real time, a one-of-one AI image in real time using the description that you give it. And you don't even have to head into the editor. You don't have to go online and find a stock photo or take a photo yourself. You just simply go generate AI image. It says, all right, you want the Austin skyline at sunset? Perfect. There's the Austin skyline at sunset. And now I've got a nice image just plopped into the background just by simply telling it exactly what I want. Oh, lost it there. Let me go back. You've also got the ability to generate a video script. So if you are a person who is already taking your own videos, okay, if this is already a part of your regular content generation flow, or if you want to try to challenge yourself to take more videos, and maybe you're creating scripts elsewhere, this platform is not going to record the video for you. However, this platform allows you to swap any generated post for any photo or video you want entirely. So not only can you use your own images within the editor, but let's say you're like, okay, this is cool, but I would actually just rather have a video of myself talking about these statistics. You can go ahead, you can go generate video script. That's going to take that caption with those stats, and it's going to give you a video script that you can follow. So you can pick up whatever you're currently using to film yourself, whether it be your phone, your GoPro, your whatever it may be. You open this up, you click record, you follow that video script. So, hey, Austin dwellers and dreamers, it's Roberta Reck here, bringing you the latest on our buzzing market. If you're searching for that perfect home sweet home or a solid financial opportunity, let's dive into the numbers that matter. Right now, the Austin market is seeing homes listed at around 600,000. This makes it manageable, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You take your video, amazing. Now you've got a nice video to go along with this great caption. And you're like, I just want to post the video of me speaking. You can go ahead, you can click those three dots and you can go upload media. And at any given point, if you click those three dots, you click upload media, you can scrap that entire generated post and replace it with whatever you want, whether it be a photo, whether it be that video you just took with that video script. And I'll show you guys an example of that. So for an example here, I did a photo, I didn't do a video, but I just clicked the three dots. I clicked upload media, and then I uploaded a photo of me and my dog. There's the Austin skyline in the background. Perfect. I'm sprinkling in a little bit more of a personal photo. Still has to do with Austin. Still has that great caption that was generated for me. So Austin buyers and sellers are working with real numbers. Here's what's on the market right now. It's giving them all the facts, but it's sprinkling in a little bit of my own stuff. So entirely up to you how you want to do it. You can do the generated post and leave it as is. You can edit it. You can add to it. You can completely swap it out, add your own thing, totally and completely up to you. Okay. Then you also have the ability to translate your post. So let's say you want to translate the post entirely to French or to Spanish for those of you who are bilingual, or for those of you who service a bilingual market, you can go ahead and click to translate. It's going to look a little bit something like this. So I did French for this one right here. Caption is entirely in French, and then all of my statistics here, as well as the titles, are all in French. So you can very easily generate any post by clicking the translate post button. If you ever choose TikTok as a platform, you're also going to see some additional settings for TikTok. And then if you just have an Instagram post, which I believe I might have one here, let me unschedule it, you will also have the ability to tag and collaborate the same way you normally would on Instagram. By sending a collaboration request or sending a tag, you have that option for any Instagram posts as well. And then just before we head into the Q&As, I did want to take a second just to go back into the create a market report post flow, just so I can point out to you guys where those two sections were, where we could choose our templates and our background images, just for anyone who joined later, because that was a little bit earlier in the the call. And I know we had some people join later. So I just want to make sure that if while we were in the editor and we were referencing those specific parts, if it was a little confusing, I just want to go back super quick just to show you where to find that. So create market report post. We type in our city, we type in our property type, select the data we want to pull. Amazing. We go next to choose our date. Through here, we choose a date that's close to today's date because we want to make sure that the data is up to date. We choose our platforms. And then down here is where we had that template source and that background source. So most people are going to live here at the default templates. That's going to take all of those nice new market reports within the editor and choose from them. However, once you've started to save some favorites and once you've started to create your own kind of saved templates, you can go ahead and say, you know what, I want you to choose from the saved templates, or I want you to choose from my favorites. I have 6 favorites in there. Choose from one of them. And then background source as well. So most people are going to live in that all, which is just choosing from 30,000 images within the editor. However, if you really want to narrow it down, maybe you're like, you know what, I only want you to choose from my favorites, or I only want you to choose from kitchens or market report posts. You can really kind of just narrow it down, tell the platform exactly what you want it to choose from, and then it will save for you. It's also always going to save your last saved settings. So if you always have it set as favorites for your template source and market report images for your background source, it's going to save that. So you don't have to do this every single time you go through the generation flow. It's always going to save it for you so that you always know it's kind of set to go. And then you just kind of go through the process, click generate, and generate your market report post. One final thing, and then we'll get into the Q&As, is just also, if you have your own market report post. So let's say your team or your brokerage sends out a little flyer for you, or a video or whatever it may be. And you're like, oh, I just want to go ahead and schedule that to go out on whatever day. You can always use the content calendar as a scheduler. So this is also something that we go through deeper in the advanced workshop. So if you join us next Friday, or if you watch the replay that we're going to send you in the email today, you'll see a little bit more about that. But you could always use the content calendar as a scheduler. So if you have your own market report post, you can choose the day you want. You can click into more options. You can go scroll down to click upload your own content, and then you're going to get a completely blank post from scratch. So it's always going to default to Instagram here on the top left-hand corner. You can go ahead and let it know, you know, I want this to go out on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. You click into here, you put your caption in there, whatever that may be. You're going to have the option to also enhance your caption and regenerate your caption. And then you just simply go into upload your own media, and you upload whatever video or photo you want to schedule to post. And then you can go ahead and upload a market report post that way as well. Or if you're really feeling creative and you're like, I just want to create my own post from scratch, you can click into edit design. It's going to take you straight to the editor. You have all of your options within here, and then you can just basically go ahead and you can remove this and you can start from scratch. So you can add text to this. You can add images to this. You can go ahead and, you know, create your own little graphics and whatever. If you really want to get creative, you want to create your own market report post from scratch. You got the data right next to you. You're like, I want to, you know, do my own thing. You can totally use the editor to create your own post from scratch too. So entirely up to you. You can, you know, go through the full generation flow, or you can create your own, or you can schedule your own. Tons of different options to choose from. I believe that is market report posts in a nutshell. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and then I'm going to bug Tiara to see what the chat has been like. And if there's any questions that are kind of coming up more than one time, and then we can go ahead and answer them live. We have about 15 minutes left, so we have a good amount of time to go through some questions before Nick takes the account over.
Irma, we're in really good shape for questions. Awesome questions flowing throughout. Mita just asked a really good question, and this has popped up a couple times, just like, you know, how to sprinkle these market report posts in terms of variety, number of posts a week, and all of that stuff. So that might be a good one to cover live.
Okay, amazing. My answer for this might ruffle some feathers, okay? I believe, and if you've been on an advanced workshop with me before, you know that I'm a huge preacher of this. I believe in variety when it comes to posting. Okay. So I firmly believe that your biggest like goal each month should be to put out a variety of posts. So some carousels, some reels, some slideshow videos, some static posts, some uploads of you and your dog going for a walk, you and your team at a conference. Plug a little bit of that in. Like the more variety, the better. Okay. Huge believer in that. I am also a huge believer in that we got to meet our audience where they're at. Okay. And I think that a lot of the time as agents, we are told that like, give them the stats, give them the information, bam, 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 bam. But we got to think about what is a normal human being when they're on social media? What are they looking for? Okay. What's kind of piquing their interest? And this is the reason why I always discourage going crazy with your contact information, because you got to think about the regular person. Most regular people are not thinking about real estate 365 days a year. They're just not. Okay. So they don't care. They don't care what the stats are. They don't care what the current medium price in Austin is. They just don't. Also, when it comes to your headshot, amazing, sprinkle it throughout, but think about the average human being. When they land on your feed and they see your photo plastered on every single post, are they going to hit that favorite button? Or sorry, are they going to hit that follow button? Probably not. They're probably going to be like, that's okay. You know what, Tiara, I really like you, but I don't need to see 27 of your headshots every week. So when it comes to the market report posts, you want to make sure that you are solidifying yourself as a local thought leader, as a professional agent, as somebody who knows the data, knows their stuff, but you got to do it tastefully, okay? And you got to think about the average human being. When they hit follow, are they going to want to read a market report post every single week or every other day? They're not. Even if you post it once every 2 weeks, the chances of someone actually taking the time to scroll through every single slide to be like, huh, that's the percentage of houses that were relisted last month. The average human being does not care about that, okay? They want to see on your feed that you are a professional. So you want to post it for that reason, so that when somebody looks you up online, when they're referred to you and they look up Tiara McFarland and they land on your Instagram or your Facebook, they're like, that person is knowledgeable, amazing. They're active. They post on social media every single day. But those people are not going to sit there and, go 8 slides in and be like, according to Tiara McFarland, the realtor, the housing prices are down X%. So don't go overkill with it, you guys. Sprinkle it in there in a way that's like, it keeps your content fresh. It looks nice on your feed, but it is not overkill. Even once a week to me, if you are not splitting that up with other types of posts, it's just going to look like overkill. And the average person who lands on your feed, if they see this person post once a week and all they post is a market report post, I'm not interested in that. You got to give people variety, and you got to just meet people where they're at. And the average human being, they just want to see, okay, you're a professional, you know what you're talking about, but they don't want to be inundated with stats on like a daily basis. So might be controversial. That is just, and that comes from a place of like a consumer of social media, a consumer of social media. And also just, we very much look at social media in a way that's like, how are you going to stand out against all the other agents out there that are posting literally the same post every single day? You got to give people a little bit of variety, right? You got to show them a little bit of your personality. You got to give them more than just like, here's my market report post every week. Oh, Al, that is a great question. Do you have some clients who you're able to share the content that have done a really good job? So if you go to our Instagram, if you go to, I actually only have this on meeting room chats. Okay. So if you go to our Instagram, which I will plop it in here, in our Instagram stories, so in our Instagram highlights, we post all the different posts. Sorry, oh my gosh. We post reposts of current users on our stories, and then we kind of organize them into our highlights. So let me share my screen again just to show you guys. So here, And I will mute this chat for a second. So we've got our Instagram. We always repost our users' posts on our stories. So we do our best to catch them kind of as they go out. So you can always kind of see what's going live within the past 24 hours. And then we file the stories within our highlights. So if you're ever trying to find some examples of different posts that are going out the door, you can click into one of our highlights. So these are reposts. And hopefully this will open for us on the Zoom. Might take a little while, but you get the gist. Reposts, we've got some AI twin posts, some listings, more reposts. Up here, we've got market reports, reels. So you kind of get a feel of what people are posting, and then you can even click into them directly. So it's not letting me open it for whatever reason, but it will let you open it if you look up our Instagram. You can click into the actual person and you can go check them out. I have a couple of different, like, really amazing examples. And I will actually come, if you come next week to the advanced workshop, I will make sure to have them ready and I'll show you guys some people's platforms and just some examples of what they're doing well. I'll actually make a note of that right now because I think that is a great idea. We have some people who are absolutely crushing it with the variety of posts and like sprinkling in their own personal stuff and really making sure to stick to their branding, whether it be like colors or a vibe or a look. And I'll pull some of those on next Friday's call. And I'll make sure to show it to you guys. Even if you can't make it to next Friday's call, if you just register, as long as you're registered, you always get the replay after the fact. So I'll make sure to send that over to you guys. But if you're just like ever looking for a little bit of inspiration, make sure to follow us on Instagram. We always share to our stories and then add to our highlights. You can see what our current users are posting about. And then here in the chat. Thanks, Al. That's a really great question. Okay. Okay, well, unless there is to repeat a post, what are your thoughts about different times, different weeks, or monthly? Okay, so repeating a post, you mean like duplicating a post? I'll see what Sophia says in a second. Yes, maybe she does mean duplicating a post. Different times. Okay, if you are duplicating a post, honestly, I would do that very sparingly. If you want my honest opinion, I think if you duplicate a post, you should always make a small tweak to it. So let's say you have a listing post that you've duplicated and you want it to go out as often as possible. Okay. You have one listing, you're really trying to get it out as much as possible. I do think you should make a small tweak to it instead of reposting the same thing over and over and over again. I think sometimes what we think is like, okay, we have this listing post for an example, and it's this template with, a nice line on the left and it says for sale. And we want to get that for sale post out as many times as possible. You are publishing that for sale post, okay? And it's going to land on people's feeds. It is not going to land on people's feeds in chronological order because social media is no longer in chronological order. So even if you post every single day, you'll see when you're on your Instagram, you're going to scroll, you're going to see posts from 5 days ago, you're going to see posts from 5 minutes ago. So if you're posting the same thing over and over and over again, duplicated, one, it's not going to increase your chances of somebody seeing it because that's just the algorithm works interest-based, not chronological based. And then two, what you're doing is you're hurting your overall look of your actual feed. So when somebody clicks into your Instagram or your Facebook, instead of seeing a really beautifully laid out feed, they're going to see that same listing post listed a bunch of times over and over and over and over and over again without any tweaks. And they're not going to be very likely to hit that follow button because they're going to be like, this person posts the same thing over and over and over again. They're not going to like that. So if you do want to duplicate a post, make a small tweak to it so that it looks different. If you are, for an example, you're wanting to duplicate the post because you want more people to see it, the better thing to do, if you don't want to tweak it to look a little different, the better thing to do is to post it on your feed in a way that looks nice. And then what you're going to do is you're going to share it to your stories. You can share that to your stories every single day. It's going to last up there for 24 hours. You're getting people to then click into it to go back to that post that's on your feed, but you're not muddying up your feed with the same post over and over and over again so that when somebody lands on it, the whole point is you want to make sure to stand out as like a professional, as someone who knows how to market. And if somebody lands on your Instagram and they see this person has published the exact same post 27 times in the past 30 days, they're not going to get a good impression of you knowing how to market or knowing how to brand something. Okay. So definitely recommend tweak it before you duplicate and send out multiple times. Or if you just want to get more eyes on one post, share it to your stories. That's a great way to kind of get that post out more. And then tags too. So big believer in tagging the other agents or team members on your team if you're a part of a team, or your brokerage, or even local businesses. Let's say you post yourself working at a local coffee shop. Make sure that you're always tagging other profiles in your posts, because then your posts are landing in other social medias tagged posts. And that's another way to be seen by people who aren't your typical audience. Okay. So great kind of way to get your post out, but without getting too repetitive about it. Image of eyes, so they're a little different. Okay, we've got just a couple minutes. I want to thank you guys though, just before we get cut off. I know Nick always jumps into this account for his 3 p.m. onboarding. I really, really appreciate you guys taking the time to spend your Friday with me and Tiara to learn about something new, to go over the market reports together, to ask all of your awesome questions. I know I say this every week, but genuinely, we are so grateful for you guys. Everything we build is a reflection of the feedback and the suggestions you guys give to us, including this. So, for a long time, you guys were like, oh, I want to be able to create my own templates for market reports, or we need updated market report templates. We need more control over our statistics. So all the stuff we hear from you guys is the stuff that we build. So please don't be shy. Always reach out to us with your suggestions, your feedback. We are quite literally building this in real time. So we want to know what you guys want. We also appreciate you obviously joining us today on your Fridays. We always love seeing you guys, some new faces, some of our familiar faces, our OGs. We got Anita in here. She's here every week. We got Michael, we've got a familiar name. We got Jim Black in here. So it's always nice to see people joining us every Friday. So if you are free, and especially if you are new, and if you haven't done the full advanced workshop yet, please join us next Friday. You're still going to get the recording via email after this so that you can watch it on your own time. But if you do want to join us live, we will be here. But yeah, I just definitely wanted to say thank you before we get cut off, because I know sometimes we do get cut off towards the end. Amazing. Okay. Appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Nikki, Mita, Lane. Oh, Lane Country Real Estate, County Real Estate, Sophia. Thank you guys so much. Really, really appreciate it. Have a great weekend, and just check your inbox within the next hour or so for this recording, and then for all the other additional recordings. And we'll see you guys next week.